I've had a fear of spiders for as long as I can remember. I'm making this video because
I am dead inside.
I don't really know why, I'm an idiot. Spiders are by far some of the most terrifying creatures on this entire planet, and I'm going to explore and analyze the skeleton of my fear of spiders. Story time. I've always had a fear of spiders. As a kid growing up in Hungary, there was a spider commonplace there called a
keresztes bok.
In English, the name translates to cross spider, but its common name is garden spider or orb weaver. I'm not a biologist. Regardless, they're fucking evil and you can find them in most backyards. However, there was one incident in my life that took me out of my body. It brought on the type of change that makes someone get crucified, buried in a cave, resurrected, sell the best-selling book in history, and still shit themselves when going through a flashback episode. The year is 2014. I'm a single young adult living in an apartment. I just got off work. I think to myself, hey, let's run a hot bath and chill. So that's what I do. I fill the bathtub, lay down in it, put my head back, and relax. Or at least I must have been relaxed as I didn't notice a wolf spider chilling at the edge of the bathtub just 12 inches from my face. I tilt my head to the side and there it was. It was sitting there giving me that famous hairy ass look that it just got back from massacring my entire family and I'm for dinner. It was at least 1.5 inches big, but because I was all up in its bubble like I'm Nigel Thornberry and nothing scares me, it could have been as big as a football. Luckily, it spared my life. I floated out of that bathtub like I'm Count Dracula and the morning alarm just struck 8 p.m. and my skin was 50 shades paler than when I first got in the tub. I grabbed my shitty fan from the living room, took the fan off so it's just a pole with the foot attached, and went to town on that scrub. What's the lesson here? You should never kill wildlife because it makes you a shitty person. I'm not a biologist, but if you have no other choice or it's a spider, make sure your weapon of choice has a pole so you can keep your distance from your enemy. It's simple algebra. I wouldn't be able to allow myself to sustain an unbiased integrity if I didn't talk about the benefits of spiders. They eat flies, and flies are fucking annoying. Additionally, there's several cultures in the world that actually eat these fucking things, generally because they were forced to develop a taste for them over time. Arguably, the most famous of these cultures is Cambodia. There's a town there called Skuon, where you can buy fried spiders. There was a time period of great famine in Cambodia between approximately 1975 and 1979, and the people resorted to eating whatever they could get their hands on. Skuon picked up tarantulas as a delicacy and has kept it as their specialty even to this day. Okay, I really hate that I'm doing this part because I'm already freaked the fuck out, but the purpose of making these videos is so I can say I learned something new. So here we go, typing the word spider into my search history for the 60th time so the algorithm thinks I'm addicted to spiders. Here's 5 facts about spiders that I thought were interesting enough to click risky links on. There's one species of spider out of the estimated 40,000 that we've discovered that might not rip my face up if it ever sees me. The Bagheera kiplingi. Okay, I'll be honest, when I saw that this was yet another spider found in Central America, I almost moved on because I'm getting sick of looking at pictures of roid rage Chad spiders that could have me for lunch. However, this guy's actually kinda cute. Their diet is mostly herbivorous, except when they're forced to eat something other than tree gunk by the climate. There's tiny protein bombs called Belchian bodies that grow on the tips of acacia leaves that make up about 90% of this dude's diet, and only when they can't get their hands on a good salad is when they start hunting for ant larvae or just cannibalize their own brethren. Spider silk is stronger than steel. Okay, this was about as far out a fact as I've ever seen, but it's true. In fact, some say that a strand of it as thick as a pencil could hold a commercial airliner from moving. Each strand is several magnitudes thinner than a human hair and is made up of thousands of nanostrands. It's mega rope. So think about this next time a naysayer says Spider-Man is unrealistic and shouldn't be able to do what he does on a day-to-day basis. The biggest tarantulas can feed on smaller animals and birds. It's true. One example is the largest spider discovered so far, which is the Goliath bird eater. While it mostly feeds on smaller things like worms, amphibians, and Honda Civics, it has absolutely been observed feeding on things like rodents, frogs, and snakes. And, as their name suggests, they absolutely have the ability to devour a smaller bird as well. This leads us to the next fun fact. Aren't we having fun? Spiders don't have teeth and aren't able to chew their food. Instead, what they do is inject their food with a digestive juice. The liquid does the work of melting the insides of the poor victim, and they just suck the animal up into their stomach. Like we would soup through a straw if we were unable to eat solid foods. Lastly, this next interesting bit of info is about arachnophobia as a whole. Arachnophobia is the most common phobia in North America and Europe. However, in places where this terror is commonplace, they don't really care as much. It's much less common in tropical areas, for example, where people are already used to spiders. So I'm not saying my fear of spiders is justified. I'm just saying I'm thankful to live in a place where I haven't had the need to desensitize to such monstrosities. Here's the thing, I don't believe there's anything wrong with being terrified of an innocent but deadly little spider. However, if you feel that you need help or your phobia is affecting your day-to-day existence, there's places in most cities you can seek out that offer exposure therapy. According to a great article I found on the subject, which I will link below, systemic desensitization is an evidence-based therapy approach that combines relaxation techniques with gradual exposure to help you slowly overcome a phobia. They basically find out exactly how severe your arachnophobia is, determine the best way to create a scale of fear from it, ranging from a little scary to very scary, and then work with you to desensitize your brain and gradually work up your scale until you're able to handle fear level 10 without shitting your pants. It's supposed to work relatively well, and I encourage anybody who feels they need to seek it out if they've been even considering it. I'm not going to. I don't want to get anywhere near the idea. Here's the deal, if I ever make it to 10k subs, I will celebrate by letting a spider crawl on my body. Until that happens, I will more than enjoy my spider-like existence. If I pretend they don't exist, then they don't exist. In conclusion, spiders suck. There are two types of people. People that can't fucking stand them, and people that wouldn't mind having a pet tarantula. You can only trust one of these two groups, and the other group is thankful that there's no flies in their home.